Hello and welcome to the first game of the loser bracket round number 1 match for Group A of the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament. We are here with virtus.pro, who lost to IC Cup in the first round of this group stage, and NEXT.kz, who lost against Rockskiss. By the way, those two teams will be playing in the winners bracket finals tomorrow at 6 PM CST time, but for now we are here with virtus.pro and NEXT.kz, and we are already in the draft, and we are here with 3 people for you to provide you with coverage. We have got Musik, who will provide you with all the stats inside the game, so you won't hear him, but you'll see what he does. And of course, the person that you will hear, it is my co-caster. Welcome back, Kanaz.
Good to be here.
And I could have sworn that someone said I need 5 minutes to restart my PC. Like, I read that,
well,
and then I got up and got water.
I don't know, because the draft is done, and they clearly didn't take 5 minutes.
It did not take 5 minutes.
I don't know, but we have a draft. I guess we could talk about what's going on since there's 1 pick left.
Yeah, we have got, of course, mid-heroes already kind of done, depending on what that Batrider is going to do. But we already saw a Batrider earlier solo mid. I really like the Mirana Shadow Demon combination. I don't really know what that Wisp is doing there, because I don't got that much synergy going on there just yet. But Shadow Demon Mirana, I really like it. Nonetheless, of course, with the arrow after the disruption. On the side of virtus.pro, they've got themselves a nice support combination with the telekinesis into the split earth, with a puck solo mid and a carry, and now also an off lane, so that's really nicely done, as it looks like virtus.pro is expecting the Batrider to be the off lane, because they ban out the Queen of Pain, which is of course a solo mid hero, and they don't want to see it up against that puck.
I mean, they could pretty easily like a dual lane mid, a dual lane Shadow Demon Mirana, and then Batrider off lane, and I think maybe that's a little bit more likely. I don't know. I guess we'll see what NEXT.kz pick up here and what their plan is for the IO, because right now the other heroes are like awesome with Wisp. Batrider, I mean, the move speed's pretty useful for him to try and lasso someone, pull him out of the fight. Mirana, I guess, can leap to the other side, maybe? It seems like a thing you could do.
It is probably a thing that you can do, but you don't really use leap as an aggressive thing.
I mean, you can. It gives the move speed. It could be useful for that. It's just like... It seems sketchy. It seems definitely sketchier than something like a Phantom Assassin or a Riki Chaos Knight, anything like that, where you have just the targeted like blink to them, where it's definitely an aggressive spell. The effect it gives is more aggressive, and it also puts you on the other side of them immediately for the stun. Whereas Leap, you kind of have to skill shot the jump to try and get on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good luck with that.
But they pick up a life stealer, so it's possible they could just go double dual lanes. They could also just solo the Mirana, either mid or off lane, and the Batrider in the other. It's gonna really just come down to what they feel comfortable doing. And looking at VP's lineup, they have a pretty good tri-lane coming out with the Rubik, the Leshrac, and the Gyrocopter. So maybe they're thinking they need to tri-lane if they're gonna run something against that, or if they're gonna try and dodge and just end up Batrider in the jungle.
Yeah, we'll see how they will deal with that, as we do have a Gyrocopter played by Airman, no real surprise, KZ on Druid, Arsart on his Rubik, and Medved still the stand-in. Of course, for people wondering, by the way, because I saw something about it earlier, of course Dread's not here. Whoa, wrong team, never mind. Previous game, that was. Like, Dread wasn't there, but he was streaming. That was the confusion that was for Rockskiss earlier on, but he is actually on holiday, playing Dota. So, that's him not being there. But anyway, we have got Ines now here, of course, for virtus.pro, but we have got Medved the entire day as a stand-in for him, and we'll see if they can manage to win against NEXT.kz. I mean, on paper they should be able to take it, but hey, on paper they should have been able to take AC Cup as well, and they didn't.
Yeah, I'll go over NEXT.kz's lineup, I guess, while we're sitting here paused.
Who was the last one again? Because I missed one. Of course, Tamer Wild hasn't picked up his hero
Puck.
just yet, and it is indeed his Puck signature hero right there. Good luck with that.
Yep, and for NEXT.kz, we're going to have Reeves on the IO. Really nice on the Shadow Demon. Who's fake nicking? Mantis is going to be on the Life Stealer. Wadafaka is going to be on the Batrider, and finally Stylecat on the Mirana. Who am I forgetting that changed their name to something silly?
I have
Equal.
To say
It's equal.
There we go. Really nice. Well, being equal is really nice. We have got everybody picking their heroes, so that's awesome. I'm not really convinced about the Wisp. It's like, I liked Wisp, and they picked it up because they could, apparently. But it's still kind of weird to see him in this lineup for NEXT.kz. I mean, it doesn't really have any major synergy with any of the heroes that is there. Apart from, of course, the fact that you can always farm some hero, like Lifestealer, for example. Have yourself always a relocate ready for him to get through the fight. Or relocate with 3 people. Have got yourselves the infest in the Wisp and then tether to someone else and go somewhere. That's like also nice. 3 people relocate, they could do it. We have got the unpause, we will see how the lanes will be distributed and we will see where they are gonna go. We have got, what the fuck, I think he's just gonna go mid on his Batrider. Actually, he picked items up for that. We have got Mantis, so he's gonna of course go bottom. Stelka is gonna go offlane then. The question is, will they run an aggressive offlane or not? Because Stelka, I mean, he did pick up an... Is Stelka will be middle with Batrider than in the jungle? No Arsart Lestrak. No, he's in the Rubik indeed.
Yeah, I think that's what they want to do, but I don't know. They can move around. Am I going robot again?
Not anymore. You were at the start a bit, but...
Okay. I don't know.
It's
Skype
okay
is
right
not friendly with me.
No.
Yeah, I think that they're probably a little bit more likely to send the Mirana in the mid lane, but it's hard to say.
Ooh, arrow! Up on our
I don't
start.
think they have... Yeah, there's no follow-up there.
No, I like that they just stand up on the high ground and just watch. Watch what unfolds, and our start will eat a tree, and they might actually... Like, they're just waiting for the rune right now. Is this gonna be an aggressive trialing coming off from virtus.pro? It looks like it. I really like this. Because actually, wow, disruption. They might be able to do something here. Illidan getting stunned up with the telekinesis a little bit there as well, or released by the tether there. And this is a first blood. This is Mantis with some gold in his pocket. And NEXT.kz, first blooding virtus.pro. That happened.
Yeah, and that's that combo, Shadow Demon, Disruption into the arrow. It's pretty
the
powerful.
Arrow disable. I was thinking about stun set, but it was the arrow. Indeed. Wow.
Yeah, and it does look like they sent Batrider up to the top lane, so they're probably just gonna lane him if he's against Bear. He's pretty safe until Lone Druid hits level 5 at least, and then it becomes harder. And mid lane, Mirana versus Puck, not a matchup we see very often. I think I favor Puck just because of the nuke potential.
Yeah. Well, Stelka did get pulled quite a bit. I mean, with the race ban first, and he just got himself the regen from his team. So maybe that will be enough for him to win the lane in the end. But, I mean, in theory, on paper, Puck would win it from Mirana, and then you've got the on-paper part of Tamar Wild versus Stelka, also won by virtus.pro. But we'll see how that ends up going, as we do have that aggressive trial in here, trying to steal some farm from Equal. I mean, if they find someone, you've got the telekinesis into the Split Earth, into the Rocket Barrage. That's a lot of damage going through, and I think that's going to be a kill as well. But the counter initiation from NEXT.kz should not be underestimated, even without the arrow. And they actually open up on the gyro. There's a tether stun as well. Rocket Barrage still doing quite a bit of damage. Mantis has to be careful. Does have rage though, and there he goes. Disruption, nicely done. No Split Earth up on the Wisp, but Reeves will still end up going down, but as does Airman, and that is a 1-for-1 trade that you do not want to make if you are on the aggressive tri lane. And you are disconnected from the game, so I'm expecting you are disconnected from Skype as well. That is indeed the case. Okay, so we'll see. We'll wait until he comes back. He had some issue with the storm. They had a storm there. It's like, what? But yeah, that happened, so... Cables across the ground and everything. Weird things that you don't see in Europe, but it happens. We do have, of course, that trade going the way of NEXT.kz, but they do end up giving a kill away. I mean, that's the combination that you have. That's exactly what I said. You've got your telekinesis inside of Split Earth. That's textbook right there. And that's just a Shadow Demon being out of position, because he is the one that's supposed to save people from exactly that. He is the safe lane, safe trial lane hero that you want to always have at the back, so if someone gets telekinesis, you can always disrupt him to stop him from getting a Split Earth off. Although you have to be careful with that, because if you cast it too early, then Leshrac will make sure that he casts his Split Earth under your disruption, as that is also a combination. Of course, Shadow Demon Leshrac is a very known combination. Invisibility rune up on Arsart, so be careful. We do have the rotation here on the top lane. It is Shadow Demon. After he died, he actually went towards the top lane. Maybe gonna help a bit with the bear. I'm not sure if they can actually get a kill there though. But KSI, he is getting harassed a little bit, but the bear is still able to secure some last hits for him. 11 for 7 for now. 14 for 3 up on Wadafaka. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Ah, welcome back.
I think it seems like everything. My internet just completely dropped for a minute.
Oh, wait a second. They go for the bear. Let's see. KSI run for his life. 4 stacks, a sticky nade bomb. The hits go through him, and like this is not a good dive. I'm not sure. Like this will be still a kill. I mean, but that's not something that you can do. And he just popped himself and still had a range creep hitting him, so he's very low on life. You can't do that. And he knew he was gonna die, and he actually died first, so he gave the gold an experience. And the other one only got the gold.
Yeah, you can't give a solo kill there when you're ganking them with 2 heroes. It's not a lone druid doesn't really lose that much, and that's not the position you want to be in.
Nope.
So
Arsart, some trouble for him. Nice telekinesis, because it doesn't get him up the high ground though. And those spirits might be able to get a kill, but they actually hit on someone else instead. And there's a salve, and Arsart will be fine again. Nice attempt. So I like NEXT.kz already looking in a better shape than previous games.
yeah, they're doing decently. At least trading kills in this game instead of like coming out way behind to start things off. But yeah, they wasted a lot of time with that movement from Shadow Demon towards the top lane, which is kind of a problem. And while he's not in the bottom lane, it makes it hard for NEXT to really farm. And we see him kind of moving around in the jungle as a result of that.
Yeah, and we see that the odds are in the favor of virtus.pro. They're both on well above 50%. It's still that virtus.pro is doing less bad than NEXT.kz is. Of course. Yeah. It sounds a bit awkward, but oh well. We have got our airman sitting at 17 to 8. I mean, he died twice now. But he is able to get himself some last hits here. And he is doing fairly nice. He's doing the best of his team at least. So better than the lone druid as well. Only by 1 though. But the only one that's higher than him on the side of the Radiance is the Bat Rider. So Lifestealer, I mean... he has actually left his bottom lane right now. He's only got 14 last hits, and we can assume that some of them are jungle creeps. So he's not getting the most of that. And I guess that's necessary, but it's still NEXT.kz. They're trading in an advantage in a lane, or trading in some lane presence for nothing at all. I mean, they don't win a lane anywhere else at the same time as they try to go for the Shrag. Maybe no. Here comes the rest. Here comes the help. They have to run. One telekinesis could be the end for Reeves if they can't get it. There is a rage, of course, up on Mantis, but Reeves, no, he's okay. Arsart walked the other way for a little while, so he's now too far away, or at least you would think that. But Illidan has got boots. Reeves does not. And Rocket Barrage, it still hurts. A tether, yeah, okay, that's gonna be you dead. There we go, Mantis. Tries to open up on Arsart. Edict though will force him back. Rage or not, that will hurt you a lot. 3 to 4. virtus.pro, they lose a lot of time, but they make sure that there's nothing that NEXT.kz gets in the meantime either.
Yeah, that was really weird. I think if Mantis had just run behind the tower... oh. It looks like he's fine. If he had just run behind that tier 2 tower, I think he would have been fine. Oh, he's not fine.
He is fine. He opens up. Actually, he is fine. Not fine, that is. Still goes down though, still gets a kill, credit for it as well, so gold going away with him, but that's a lightning Shrek. Level 2 lightning. In the meantime, Marana and Puck exchange kills, but Puck got the first kill. And oh, come on, stop killing each other. This time, there is a gank without a death up on the motherfucker Bat Rider. But yeah, Marana and Puck just exchanged kills. That was Puck overextending, but he went down for it with overextending. But oh well, he gets the first kill.
Yeah, and he's able to get the experience from that, which is good for him.
Yeah.
So it's not like a terrible trade or anything when mid trades with mid, and whoever gets the experience just automatically comes out ahead in that. But kills just being traded all over the map. It's dead even right now. Farm, it's not really that... yeah, it's pretty close to even looking at the charts. And we see that Bat Rider's just getting a ton of farm in the top lane, which is not really surprising. Bat Rider's a great farmer. And
soon though, I mean, this bear is level 7. Where is the entangles? They're gonna go again. They're now with the tri lane, and they're gonna shut KSI down completely. Can they take him down? Yes, they can. Before the entangle goes off on equal, that might have actually killed him off. But Nicely done. If they continue keeping this on, this Blink Dagger up on the Bed Rider will be there very soon. And he is actually going for that before doing anything else next to his brown boots.
Yeah, and this is potentially really smart from NEXT.kz if they can get this Blink Dagger very quickly. Maybe learning from the mistakes of the last couple games and Lifestealer dying in the bottom lane, but trying to set themselves up for a powerful mid game. Whereas the last couple games they sort of suffered.
Oh, 3-man Dream Coil gets himself 1 kill with that. 3 versus 1, no problem for Tame Wild.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
No problem at all. In comes the Bed Rider though with the Blink Dagger.
Yep, got that delivered to him. I don't think they're gonna go for this, but they can try. Tame Wild's in a really weird position on the opposite side of the
They have
river.
no idea he's there either, so I guess that's kind of a blessing. No, they know. A range creep came towards them.
Oh, yeah, that's really
But
unfortunate.
they can't get there in time anymore. Nah, he's out.
Yeah, Bat Rider's way far away, so he's not really gonna be able to do anything. And Mantis still in the bottom lane, not having a great time. He's died a couple times now. I guess he's about even with Jarok.
He's gonna die again. No, Rage is just in time there, and the Rocket Rush of course won't hurt him then, and he should be able to get himself out. But yeah, he is not having a fun time. Blink and Lasso, they catch Puck. Is there gonna be enough damage to take him down? Orb away, Tame Wild, phase shift, leap forward. Nice silence, but it's not gonna be enough, and he goes down. 4-man gank, but they get it. I say 4, but Shadow Demon wasn't really involved, so it's a 3-man gank. They get the kill. NEXT.kz, I feel like they are playing a lot more comfortable than versus Rock's Kiss.
Yeah, I don't know if they're just a little bit more comfortable against VP's playstyle. VP and Rock's Kiss don't play entirely differently. They both like aggressive lineups, but VP will pick something a lot more late game oriented typically than Rox will, I guess is how I would put it.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just more comfortable in that position. They're trying for a little bit more of aggressive lineup themselves with the dual carry Mirana Lifestealer.
I guess they're getting more time to play their own game. Disruption here, stopping him from getting hit by the Dream Coil, but this is a dive past tier 1. This could be bad for virtus.pro. Airman taking a lot of damage. That's already going to be Tame Wild getting picked up. Airman and R-Star trying to do the Delta split. TP out from R-Star, but Lifestealer going to be there and is not going to be able to get a kill there actually. That's going to be the rest trying to chase down the Gyrocopter. Blink forward, should be Airman going down, and that's going to be 3 dead on the side of virtus.pro, with Leshrac the one to still go down in the end, and that is NEXT.kz having a kill lead over virtus.pro, while we saw NEXT.kz getting utterly destroyed up against Rock's Kiss twice in a row, just now.
Yeah, and that was a really fast Blink Dagger on Wadafaka.
Yeah.
We said about 5 minutes quick. But usually he's not picking it up before something else. Like a lot of times we'll see Bottle come up from Bat Rider because he's either mid or in the jungle and he really needs the regen. That's 600 gold, you know, eats into it when he's having a little bit trouble. He's also usually not getting basically complete free farm. He got a lot of farm up in that top lane against the Lone Druid. Lone Druid did not have a good time. Yeah, he got some kills as well with the support, so it was a good timing, and it's really going to help transition into this, where they're getting kills.
Yeah, and they're gonna get Airmen as well. Nice relocate coming up from the Wisp. That's Wisp level 6. Well, now level 7. They still aren't able to take down any towers. Neither team has got any towers. Then again, there's no real strong pushing hero on NEXT.kz's lineup, while there's 2 on virtus.pro's lineup. But they have to be careful. Once virtus.pro starts winning fights, they'll be able to get things in return for them. With that Edict, even though it's only level 1, still hurts towers quite a lot. Lone Druid, of course, always strong against towers with that Demolish on the Bear. And KSI now getting some freedom here on the top lane, and that's really needed for him, because with the nerf a bit on the Bear, he is still very strong, but he needs to get just some more time to get his farm up. That's why people now run a mostly solo safe lane when they run a Lone Druid and then just go for an aggressive trialing, because he needs that time to get his farm up.
Yeah, getting Lone Druid farm is very important. He doesn't really do anything if you don't get a lot of farm on him to get some items on this Bear, so it gets at least some attack speed. And if you're far behind in a game, it's hard to even put items on the Bear because the other team's going to start doing damage while you don't really have armor or anything, and the Bear will just die.
Yeah.
Makes it really awkward for you, so if KSI can't get anything, it's going to be difficult for him to really have any impact in the game. Unless, of course, he just gets incredibly lucky and gets the best entangles.
Yeah, look at where Vodafaka is sitting, by the way, because he's been sitting here for a while. He has high hopes that someone will come and farm. Someone will come. Wait for it and they will come, I don't know. No, he realizes now that nobody's there. There's 4 people on the top lane, by the way. So now that they realize there's nobody there, they'll try to push down the tower. They have got Mirana with the illusion helping out, and there should be a tower going down. And there's nothing that virtus.pro is getting in return for this. Nothing at all. I'm quite surprised that they don't do anything. Like, they don't even push the top tower that hard. And there's gonna be a tower down on the side of virtus.pro. First tower to drop in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of... They had to basically do that. If they try and force that top tower, they're not going to get it down in time.
Look at the TP
And then
into the
NEXT.kz immediately rotate. Yeah, immediately would just TP
Reeves
up
has some trouble. Reeves dead. Yeah, Reeves very dead.
there. Yeah, I'm not... That was somewhat sketchy. That going that far out on the Wisp. But this is going to open it up for them to try and go for this tier 1 now.
Yeah.
They know that the Wisp is dead, so they can't have a relocate gank come in. And there are 2 heroes in that bottom lane. Still trying to push the tower.
Yeah, the
Looks
fortification
like
is already done. The edict, even though level 1, like I said, already doing a lot of damage. Mirana ulti actually being used. They want to try and take this blink in for the Batrider. Gets telekinesis as he last 2's Medved. Disruption is going to be there. Arrow! Brilliant arrow! It's up on the Leshrac. That's going to be one Leshrac dead. The first one to go down in this fight. The relocate was still there. After Reeves got back alive, they take down the Rubik as well. Can they find more? They already got the gyro. They look for Tama Wild. Tama Wild does still end up getting the Batrider, but the Batrider actually gets the credit for the last kill there as well. That's a 1-for-4 trade, and the only one that got out alive was KSI, who TP'd bottom straight away because he knows he needs farm, and he needs farm now. So he's farming bottom lane while his enemy team is taking down a tier 1 tower top. And his team with it.
Yeah, so a great fight for NEXT.kz.
Yeah.
They get so many kills. They're gonna get this tower out of it as well, so they're gonna get some map control. That fortification, I guess, is just to slow them down. They can't possibly hope to defend this, and they're not gonna be able to buy time really for anything else that they can do, except maybe KSI farm a little bit. I don't know, maybe a little questionable on that glyph. But you know, VP, when they can't win these fights because they're kind of just that far behind, and NEXT.kz have a pretty powerful lineup, they're in a weird position where they have to just try and force the issue anyways.
Yeah, and what a fuck it. He played only one Batrider for the competitive games. And still was able to be in, what was it? 34 kills in total? 33 kills in total?
33, yeah, 7-5-26.
Yeah, that's quite insane.
That's a lot of assists.
That's a lot of assists and kills, and not that many deaths compared to that. And he's looking for a last 2. I'm not sure what he thinks he can do by himself, because we all know that Batrider by himself, in theory, can't really kill off heroes that easily anymore. Unless he knows that there are supports and such, and that they're already a bit harassed and already have some stacks up on sticky napalm. But he's just gonna TP himself towards the bottom lane to get himself some farm. Stalkat farming in the middle. I'm kind of curious to see where he's gonna go for. That was an arrow that came from the Rubik. Really nice.
Yeah.
Level 4 arrow, stole it. Oh, there we go. That's a Yasha ready up on Stalkat. Going for that Manta style first, probably.
Possibly. Could be going for the Manta. Or it could just be going for the Yasha for value.
Yeah.
And ends up picking something else up.
For now, and the Manta
think-
later on, perhaps.
Yeah. Or even Sanjin Yasha.
You would be super fast, by the way.
So fast? She's gonna leap and then have tether? She'll have haste.
Yeah. By the way, like, Stalkat has the normal mount. I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah, where's like the dragon mount or the
Yeah.
owl?
Or the
The
lion.
stupid owl. Oh yeah, the lion's cool. But like the owl is the worst thing. I hate it so much.
I think the dragon is the worst thing.
Oh, I like the dragon.
I like the lion best, but... Oh, they find Mantis. Mantis, you're dead.
Good arrow.
Nice arrow. Short range, point blank, boom. You're dead. I'm not sure what he was doing there by himself without vision, but... Yeah, he died. But in the meantime, I mean, he just distracted 3 heroes, and now they get the tier 1 tower. And this is all tier 1 towers down on the side of virtus.pro. No tier 1 towers dead on the side of NEXT.kz. And I'm really seeing a different NEXT.kz than what we saw in the previous games.
Yeah, they're playing a lot more confident and they're getting something out of their actions, whereas the previous games, I guess they were just always playing from behind because they lost the laning phases so badly.
Whoa! That was a very long range arrow up on the Batrider. This arrow up on our start is doing work!
Yeah, I think Arsart's landed as many arrows as Mirana at this point.
Yep.
And that's pretty good for his team. It's helping him get kills all over the place, and that makes it so to slow down their aggression a little bit. Whereas before they were kind of just forcing fight, take tower, forcing fight, take tower. And with heroes down constantly, they have to wait a little bit, and that gives time for KSI in particular to try and get some farm.
Yeah, that arrow, next arrow didn't hit though, unfortunately for him. He is gonna lose it soon. So if he wants to do something with it, it better be now. But in the mid lane, he won't be able to find anybody for now. And they will be able to take down the tower though, with the bear helping out, of course, with the edict helping out as well. This tier 1 tower will drop, and that is the first tower that virtus.pro takes down. Oh, nice split earth! Wow, Reeves goes down together with Mantis real fast. Brilliant split earth there coming off from Medved. Arrow flies once again, of course, from the Rubik. Doesn't get anything with it. Was his last arrow. And that's gonna be a brilliant fight for virtus.pro. They do dodge the arrow just now. That's great. Otherwise, Leshrac would have been really sad. Blink forward. Tamar Wild gets a Dream Coil up, and only one blink in. Last two. Tamar Wild. They get him. Is there enough damage? It's a question. Yes, there is. That's gonna be pucked down. Shadow Demon takes a fall for him as well, though. That's a 1-for-1 after previous fight. And what a fucker, trying to run while Leshrac. Oh, another arrow hits the bear, but doesn't hit a hero. And Marana will end up going down, but as does Leshrac. Can they find more? Reeves trying to back off, might be trying to help the Bed Rider soon, because Bed Rider needs some help. Bed Rider, you're dead. No help coming off from Reeves. You could have tried to tether for extra movement speed, but no can do. And that's gonna be a fight going the way of virtus.pro. Killing spree now for Arsart all of a sudden. Arsart, who's been in 14 out of 17 kills. Pretty
Yeah,
nice.
Arsart playing very well on this Rubik, and it's again NEXT.kz just playing pretty sloppy. They're getting picked off, and then they're continuing to try and take fights from behind, and you don't want to be really doing that. There's really no reason for them to be fighting over in their own jungle after the tower had already gone down.
Look at the experience graph. They were looking so good.
Yep, and all the way back to 0.
And then an arrow gets stolen.
Yeah, I guess actually all of that was after that arrow got
Yep.
stolen. It just kept falling down.
It does.
But really, the thing that seals it is that most recent fight. You can't try and take that fight when you know that your carry is down.
Yeah.
It's just really silly, and it costs them. And now they're, instead of fighting from like they're ahead on map control, they're ahead on gold experience, everything they want. Now they're pretty much even on everything except map control. They still have way more towers, which is actually probably bad for them at this point, because there are tier 1 standing for VP to take, and that's going to give them a gold lead.
Yep. And that will be virtus.pro being very happy with that. We almost have the BKB up on Airman as well, so he's looking pretty solid. We already saw the Blink Dagger up on Tamar Wild. KSI has actually also been able to get something. He has his bear in the base. Never mind, he summons it. He has got just face boots and a Minthro Hammer he's gonna go for. Central Ward is there, by the way, so I think they saw the smoke. The pings goes off.
They were standing on top of it.
Yeah, that's gonna be NEXT.kz having to be really careful. virtus.pro, they're gonna try to roam inside their own jungle, see if they can find them. BKB being built up by Medved as well, and who am I forgetting? Of course, Arsart probably will be waiting until he has a Blink Dagger ready. Oh, equal. Trouble for him. I hear an arrow, can't see it though. Shadow Poison, now they come. Blink in Lassoon, there goes the Moonlight Shadow trying to help out. Telekinesis is still there, that is gonna be one Bed Rider, very sad and very dead as well. As we also see Leshrac going down, Rocket Barrage, Airman, trouble, Airman, dead. Io goes down with him as well, as Arsart trying to keep himself up, maybe able to help his teammate. Trying to slow down Mantis a little bit as KSI tries to run. Open moves are there. Bear, where's your entangle? There's your entangle. Mantis infests out. Does some damage to KSI. Doesn't get a kill with it though. In the meantime, Puck, Tamar Wild able to pick up Stalkut. Mantis, telekinesis, and might still end up going down. And he does. And that is going to be equal. The one that it all started with. Not going down just yet, but he will be going down if there's an entangle. Or if there's just enough damage or disruption to begin with. Which are stolen, of course, by Arsart. That's going to be a kill. Neutral. That Satire Shockwave got the kill,
Yeah,
but it was still a team wipe. And virtus.pro, they did lose some heroes of their own, but I mean, NEXT.kz, they can't afford to lose these team fights, I think.
Yeah, they're getting too spread out, and like we see Nakes was just chasing in the back of the fight after the bear, while the rest of his team was fighting like Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter is dying, but that leaves Nakes separated way out. He dives a tier 2 tower, gets killed by just getting entangled repeatedly. Surprise. You dive a tower, and that's exactly when he gets the entangles. And that gives Roche now to VP, and there's not really anything NEXT.kz can do about it. They're not in a position to get there in time.
Not at all. And I mean, with this Aegis, Airman or virtus.pro in general will be able to take at least both tier 1s and maybe even a tier 2 if they want to try to go rotate around with 5 people. And I think they want to, I think they should, I think they can. But do they need to is the question, because I think they have a stronger late game lineup, so they might be not in that much of a rush just yet.
Yeah, there's pretty much 2 ways you can use the Aegis. You can use it just to farm safely, or you can try and force a tower or whatever, some sort of fight with it. Both are valid options here. VP have a pretty good late game. They can try and farm up a little bit. Maybe they just want the BKB on Gyro, and that could be enough for them to say it's time to go. What's Lone Druid picked up recently? He's got a Maelstrom up.
Yeah.
So, and he has actually a medallion that he's had for a little while on his hero. I don't know if we talked about that, but just giving some additional minus armor,
yeah,
which helps Gyro
and of
get
course
killed.
just helps with the Roshan as well.
Correct. Yeah, so I mean, he's like doing some stuff. I don't know if they really want to wait for him to try and get a couple big items, because he's not particularly.
We do have Bedrider with his 4 stuff ready. I mean, in terms of net worth, it's only the Lone Druid that's now higher than the 3 cores of NEXT.kz. And that's kind of funny actually, because Lone Druid of course had a tough time earlier on. Blinking Lasso, they catch out Medved, cooldown comes down as well. Medved will end up going down, but it looks like we might see some more. It is Airman's Aegis that gets burned down. That's Rubik down as well. This is NEXT.kz taking a fight all of a sudden. An Airman, he almost had his BKB. This is gonna be so sad. If he doesn't get a kill here, you won't have his Aegis. He does get a kill. Now buy your BKB before you die. Buy it. No, you don't buy it, and he dies. Nice Dream Coil up onto, maybe allowing for something to happen as Tame My Wild goes down still. This is 4 dead for just 1 Shadow Demon. virtus.pro losing the fight here. KSI, he wants to save his bear. He wants to save his bear, needs to save his bear, he can summon it back, there we go, and that's the only survivor for this team fight, and I have to say, I'm surprised that NEXT.kz was able to turn it around that way, that much.
Yeah, the worst part is that Reeves actually messed up. He pulled Nakes out of the fight when the relocate ended, and that's actually what got Shadow Demon killed. Is that they suddenly had 2 less heroes there, and they were trying to kill the gyrocopter, they just didn't have the damage. So, if Wisp doesn't retether Nakes completely pointlessly, because they both immediately TP scroll to that tier 1 tower, like immediately, so that fight goes even better for NEXT.kz, and that's almost unimaginable because that was almost a perfect fight for NEXT.kz there.
Yeah.
They get the kill through the Aegis, they kill everyone but the bear. I mean, bear, a good target, but he's so tanky.
Yeah, and I mean, they did good thing in not focusing the bear, because they were able to kill off everybody else, and you know, the bear is still annoying, but not that annoying. KSI actually backed off, so no more entangles, and I mean, then you have got yourself the gyrocopter who had his BKB, who now still has it. I mean, fair enough, he still gets it, but he had it earlier on as well, and he just didn't buy it before he died. I have to say, it's very tough to think about that when you're about to die, but still.
Yeah, and the bear actually a comparatively minor threat in this game by comparison to some bears we've seen in the past, because he just doesn't really have the farm.
Yep.
So not focusing him down, definitely the right play here. He's got a lot of health, he doesn't do that much damage. He does damage, but not compared to like a gyrocopter.
Try again though.
Do they have the Moonlight? They do have the Moonlight Shadow, yeah, they're just gonna Moonlight Shadow in. And that's what won them last
We
fight.
only have 3 people here though. Blinking. Oh, relocate. There we go. Cooldown comes down. BKB's turned on. That's gonna be a 1 help right there. Is it gonna be enough? Bedrider already going down. Looks like we might see virtus.pro taking this fight. Mantis taking a lot of damage. Already got entangled. Is he gonna get entangled again? Is the question. The Fate Bolt will be there from our side to pick him up. There goes Equal. And this fight is going the way of virtus.pro. And now we see NEXT.kz running for their life. That BKB made a lot of difference. He could just stand there and kill things as Tame My Wild jumps forward, wants to try and take down Stalcat. Stalcat lands an arrow. That's going to be a phase shift. Tame My Wild, though, he has got his blink up again in 3 seconds, and he will try to go after him. He has got his orb as well. Oh, never mind. He blinks away. Not as greedy as we thought that as I thought he might be. But the tier 1 tower, of course, still dies, and virtus.pro going to try to take a tier 2 as well.
Yeah, and that's next. Not really. I don't think they really thought that through. You can't try and initiate in the exact same place in the exact same way and hope that the other team just really has no idea. They dropped the Sentry Ward immediately, like before they even went in. They had a couple down, so they were ready for that Moonlight Shadow to be there. And that just led to them next trying to get in a great position using the Moonlight Shadow, and instead they just walked into basically a trap from VP.
Yep.
Feed all the kills directly back.
Yep, and all of a sudden 24 to 26 is the kill score. Airman sitting on a nice amount of gold of 650. It's really not that much, but hey, he didn't die in the previous fight. He died 8 times this game though. He's really not doing that well overall. In terms of net worth, he is still sitting below the Batrider, below the Marauder, below the Lifestealer. NEXT.kz still having their grip a bit on the gold in that sense, but in terms of the gold graph, the difference is really not that much, especially considering the tower difference that is still, of course, there, although now only in the form of 1 tower. But that's exactly the difference in the gold graph, actually, just that 1 tower. Experience graph, even, just going back and forth. It is any team's game right now, and I think the next team fight will be crucial. If someone gets a next team fight that they definitely win, they will be getting ahead. It's obvious.
Yeah, and this is a yeah. If you win a team fight, you will win.
Ooh, yay!
Oh,
but it's gonna get tougher to get back. Is my point. Oh, Blink and last and we infest out. They catch Airman. He already died 8 times. Now 9. Telekinesis up on equal. Will go down and Tangle. Actually, Mechanism keeps him up a little bit longer. Nice Dream Coil up on 3 from Tamar Wild. Tamar Wild trying to get himself out of there again as there's not enough damage to go through, or he can't, no, never mind, he is dead, there we go. In the meantime, that's 3 dead on the side of virtus.pro. Can Rubik do something with his flame break? He is looking very cool there, and his helicopter flame break thing, but no, he has to run. Telekinesis is going to be there, trying to run. The Blink Daggers, of course, there for the bat as well. But it looks like they're not even going to try. Lifestealer still ends up going down. Puck, able to make sure that the chase did not work out, and that is going to be... yeah, the Wisp relocate, I think that was. There we go. Or the blink away, never mind. That was the blink away that I saw the end of. But NEXT.kz, take a fight, lose 2, get 3. Getting the puck and the gyro for just a Lifestealer and a Shadow Demon, worth it. They do lose their tier 1 though.
yeah, and they lose Lifestealer when they didn't have to again. That was way
they
in the
shouldn't
back
have
end of the
chased.
fight, just completely chasing. And it's kind of, I guess, the difference between how these fights have gone. When VP won that fight, they had the opportunity to chase and try and get another kill. They played disciplined, they stopped the chase and tried to go for the tower.
Yeah.
When NEXT.kz are winning these fights, they're trying to chase after get whatever kills they can. And it's often led to them sort of giving up some of the advantage that they just won in the fight because they give away a couple kills. And that's what's a big problem when the person who's not dying is this lone druid. They haven't really had to take him down. He's got a basher now. He's leading the net worth chart, and if he keeps getting bigger, it's going to be difficult for him to fight through it.
Yeah, and of course the basher is also up on the Lifestealer. Didn't really help out for him all too much. But oh well. Roshan up again in 2 minutes. Both teams will prepare for taking that down.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see another fight before they actually go for Roshan. It looks like both teams are content to just farm it up, and is anyone particularly close to anything is the real question, though. Are they going to have something for this next fight? Marana's got quite a bit of gold, but has no real progress towards any item.
Of course, went to finish that Manta Style still in the end before doing anything else. And she needs some survivability because she's kind of like a glass cannon. Though she hasn't really died that often, she's able to stand at the back and still hit stuff, and that's of course the thing that she does. But it will get tougher and tougher as a gyrocopter, even though he does die quite often. Once he gets his farm up, he'll just stand there with Flat Cannon, and even Stalcat will not be safe with that.
Yeah, and they can't always rely on being able to get the lasso off on him before he can do anything in the fight, which is how they got him down that last fight, and that works very well for them because Gyrocopter does so much damage. If they can just get the Blink Lasso initiation on Gyro before he BKBs and burst him down, the fight is that much easier for them. But again, it's so unreliable.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. In the meantime, Stalcat split pushing the bottom tier 2. That would be putting NEXT.kz in a bit of a favor. virtus.pro, do fortify. Is it gonna be enough is a question. Nope. He tried, didn't get it. In the meantime, we are gonna see Airman get taken down again. Blink and Lasso was all that it took. 4 stuff back towards the team. NEXT.kz get a solid kill. And they get a tower. Really nicely done. Arrow misses. Arrow from Arsart is about to vanish as well.
So some fun stats: 0 and 1 for Mantis's Lifestealer. Gyrocopter from Airman, 29 and 12. That's a huge win rate.
Oh, Stalcat might be in some trouble. Still has, of course, a leap. And will be forced to use it towards the Roche pit. And sees that Roshan is there again, instantly. 77.7%. I don't know what that means.
That's his win rate, 29, 12,
Ah.
70.7%.
It's like random.
Huge win rate.
Ooh, arrow!
It's-
Almost hits on Tama Wild.
Yeah, I'm surprised NEXT.kz are going for this. Maybe they're going to try and force the tower back to Roshan. It's definitely a way you can play it, but they're going to basically have to force a fight here and then go for Roshan, unless VP give it completely up.
Yeah, that tier
Didn't
2 might actually
feel
die though.
likely,
Blinking
yeah.
last 2. It catches Tama Wild. Is there gonna be enough damage? It looks like there is. That's gonna be Tama Wild phase shifting for now. Should be able to be safe again soon. Or is he? virtus.pro, they look to be trying to be on the run. Bad Rider with his BKB turned on. Here comes Tama Wild once again. Back and forth into the game. Runs himself right into... What the fuck, Stalcat tries to TP himself out, cancel it again as he realizes that his team has actually taken down one of virtus.pro and now they can go for Roshan because no Gyrocopter, who is the only one that died in that fight, means Roshan for NEXT.kz. And they also take down the tier 2, by the way. I just said, like I said earlier, Stalcat needs some survivability items. I take that back. Because if you have yourself an IO with that overcharge there, you don't need any survivable items. You're taking 30% less damage. You're fine.
Yeah, it's so much extra effective HP if he's just
Yeah.
sitting there burning his own health for you. Gives all the attack speed too, so it's possible he can go for something like a damage item. Could also try and grab like a butterfly if he's worried about getting entangled, wants to be able to dodge the damage from that bear. Bear might go MKB in the near future if that happens. I can't believe they're giving up this Roshan to VP though.
Arrow! Bear takes it. Telekinesis is there. Tama Wild trying to do a lot here as the Dream Coil hits upon 2. Reeves trying to TP himself out. There's gonna be a leap out from Stalcat as well. That's gonna be the Arsart already going down first. And he buys back. Lasso up a Medfed, up into the high ground with him. He ends up going down. Tama Wild trying to do what he can. A silence there again, but there goes the Aegis. Reeves gets back in with a relocate. Might be able to save one of his teammates, but he is actually taking a lot of damage. Will end up going down, and he doesn't take his teammate with him, and that's gonna be Stalcat and what the fuck, the last 2 here. And they should probably run. And they do with the Moonlight Shadow right there. Flame Break. Nicely dodged by Tama Wild. And this could actually be trouble. The silence is there. The Moonlight Shadow is ended. And forced up to the high ground might be enough. 13 HP. The orb flies up. Tama Wild, is he going to try and chase that down? Yes, he is. Where did the Bat Rider go, though? He does not have enough mana to TP out. But it looks like he will be safe. Because he's not going somewhere where they expect him to be. And there's the TP finally. He is out. There was still the Roshan taken by virtus.pro. Airman did die. Did come back up, of course. But a fight taken down by virtus.pro. Though they keep it fairly even.
Yeah, it's still pretty even. They ended up losing the Aegis, so...
Nice deny.
Bottom tower has been denied.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can get one of those denies that it feels like you absolutely should not have gotten. Ruik stole arrow again.
Yeah.
There's one of those out there.
Forced to leap away from his own arrow. That's kind of troublesome.
I'm still just surprised that Next let VP just take that Roshan when they were down a hero.
Yeah. Well,
just,
no,
like-
they bought back Gyro, of course.
Oh, right. Yeah, but they have the buyback, and I feel like they're in position where they can
They
probably
could've.
force the fight.
I think they
or at
weren't
least like
expecting
scare them out. I'm not sure what their plan was, but they clearly just get the Roshan basically for
But
free.
Careful. Yeah.
And then they get the initiation on a couple supports who are just standing within blink range of puck up on the high ground right outside the rush pit. So then they are in range for the rest of their team to go in. That leads to the supports dying basically immediately. Makes things somewhat awkward for the rest of the fight, and that's what leads to VP doing pretty well.
Hey, percentage-wise, Mirana still had in terms of arrows. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit. Arrows hit! Because it's not hit it. That sounds awkward. So, yeah. I guess Arsart still has to work on his arrow skills. He has stolen it again. I mean, it's a fairly nice spell to steal, because if he hits it, that makes a massive difference if he hits the long-range arrow. And we know that Arsart is a very skilled player, so he can do it. But he doesn't have a setup. He just has to get lucky a bit. And a bit with his skill, of course.
Well, I mean, he has a setup. He has telekinesis.
Yeah, but I mean, like long-range setup. Like a disruption
Oh,
would be from someone else.
Yeah, right. So he can use those like really short to mid-rangey arrows with the telekinesis throw into
Yeah.
it, which gives at least a little bit of a stun. It gives quite a bit of damage as well. But Yeah, beyond that, he doesn't have like someone who's just disrupting and then he's throwing the 5-second arrows from down.
Well, let's see if they can take down this Shadow Demon. I'm not sure what he's doing here. And I think Arsart finds it fairly odd as well. They will be able to take him down, obviously. Disruption will be there. Mechanism will be there as well. The TP out, it shouldn't happen. Oh my god. I can't believe
he wishes he didn't steal Shadow Poison now and kept Arrow.
Yep. And he just, like, he walked in enemy territory. He went to place a ward. No, he did not. He just was casually strolling by, apparently. Walks into enemy heroes as a support Shadow Demon and he doesn't die. I have to say, again, NEXT.kz, completely different team than what previous games that we saw from them.
Yeah, it feels like they're playing. Yeah, I noticed he didn't use Arrow. He just stole Shadow Poison. I'm not sure why Arsart did that. I thought he was gonna throw Arrow and he just didn't, and then he stole Shadow Poison. And it was like, sweet, Shadow Poison.
Yeah.
It seemed weird to me. Maybe he thought it was gonna be Soul Catcher, and that
Or
would
Disruption.
enable to get the kill. Disruption doesn't really do that much there.
Holding him
either.
in place for the rest of his team to be there. Maybe. He
Yeah.
already was there, you know, like, I mean, yeah, it was awesome.
Right.
Blinking, Lasso, KZI is the one that they want. Here comes the relocate as well. Moonlight Shadow as well, just in case. Tama Wild's already being dropped down. BKB's turned on. Mantis looking for a target, but he can't reach his target. He so wants to go up for Airman, but he can't get it done. And virtus.pro, they only lose their puck. Don't lose any more, and now they try to go for the counter initiation, looking for entangles upon Stylecat. Leap forward from Arsart because he did steal that. In the end, everybody of NEXT.kz is able to make it away. By the looks of it, Arrow will still fly, will not hit anything though. And that is gonna be NEXT.kz taking down Puck, getting a buyback off him, and backing out again afterwards. Even with all that they use, that's worth it.
Yeah, and that's them showing much better discipline. When that puck buys back, they know that they have the tier 2 tower. Or, not the tier 2 tower?
Tier 3s. But
tier
there's
3
a
tower.
blink and there's an orb, so Puck... Oh my god, if they take him down again, and last two, the Arrow, and this should be another Puck dead, and that is a Puck dead for another 70 seconds when he can't buy back, but maybe they can get something off of this. Stylecat leaping himself into safety. That is gonna be one Bed Rider looking for kills up on Lone Druid. Lone Druid getting slowed up, getting killed off here, and will indeed take a fall. Can they find more? Relocate comes back again. The gyrocopter turns on his BKB rocket barrage. Is not doing enough, and hello, Scotty.
Scotty,
Up on
whoa.
Stylecat. And that is gonna be 4 heroes dead. virtus.pro seem to be losing this game up against NEXT.kz. Something that if I was betting, there's a GG, I would lose so much rares right now.
My rares.
My rares. Of course, this is only game number 1 of a best of 3. We are in the loser bracket round 1 of Group A for the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament, and we will see which one of these two teams will be dropped out of the tournament in the first day of the tournament. You don't want to get dropped out on the first day of the tournament. It's like you were never in it to begin with. There's not even a ticket yet. We'll come with the patch, by the way. But that is, I have to say, this is not the NEXT.kz that we saw up against Roxkiss.
Yeah, they played a lot better. They showed way more discipline. They were backing off when they needed to instead of continuing the chase. They did a little bit where they chased too far and maybe gave VP some openings they didn't need to, but they didn't ever lose complete control of the game, whereas in other games it felt like they were out of it from the very beginning. So maybe this is just what happens when their laning phase goes a little bit better?
I hope so, because if so, we're gonna see it again, and we're gonna see how virtus.pro responds to NEXT.kz in the next game, in game number 2 of this best of 3, Group Stage A. Let's stick around with us, because you want to see the next match. You want to see if NEXT.kz can make a giant upset here and take down virtus.pro, or if virtus.pro gonna force out a game number 3. Stick around for more Dota 2 action in just a moment.